Ooh, I'm so sleepy. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. No lie. Anyway. Okay, guys. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, I need you to subscribe to my channel, okay? But if this is your first time here, my name is Phontaine, and let's get right into this story time. I'm going to say this as a disclaimer. I do not make up my stories, okay? I could make up a story if you paid me to because I'm not a good storyteller, okay? This story is about the time I had a stalker when I was 14. Yes, I had a stalker when I was 14. And he was a grown-ass man. When I mean grown, he was in his 50s. Okay? Pervert of the universe. So, take it back to my first year, freshman year of high school, the first semester. The first semester of high school, I wasn't in any activities. Like, my brother was a senior and I was a freshman first semester. I remember being a cheerleader my freshman year, but that wasn't until second semester. So I remember coming home on the school bus, like I was by myself walking home because, like I said, my brother was a senior. He was involved in so many sports and so many activities. So the first semester I walked home by myself. And I don't know, I remember this probably being like the second or third month of school already starting. And I would get off the bus the first time it happened, okay? I would get off the bus in this van. I'll never forget, it was a blue van, like a pervert child molester van. This van, I was getting off the bus and like walking to my house at the time where I lived at, I had to walk down a long street that was like full of trees. And he followed me, you know, driving behind me, creeping. And so I remember, like, of course, he didn't know where I lived. Like, he didn't follow me all the way until I got into my house. Like, he would pull up behind me, not behind me, but beside me, and like be like, hey, you wanna, I'll give you some money if you have sex with me. Old ass man, creepy as hell. Now I'm walking and I'm just like ignoring him, not saying anything. I looked at him a couple of times and I think he asked me about 3 or 4 times and then he just drove off. So went home, didn't say anything to my mama. I didn't say anything because in Atlanta, riding the MARTA bus, walking up and down the street with your friends, you get that a lot. Like, that's nothing new. So I really didn't pay no attention to it. Now, that is the first day. I remember my mama yelled at me about this, but we're going to get into that. So the second day, the next day, I remember on the bus, before the bus got up to the stop, I saw his van like kind of far back. I could see from where I was sitting at on the bus. He was waiting on me. Like, he knew that was my bus stop because the day before, obviously, he saw me get off the bus. He was waiting on me. Same thing. Pulled up beside me and was asking me to have sex with him for money. He was like, hey, can I just... Like, this man is old as fuck. Now, mind you, 50-something is not old, okay? But at the time, I'm 14, so 50 is really fucking old to a 14-year-old, okay? So like, he pulled up beside me again, same person, same guy, same van, and he was like, hey, can you, I want to have sex with you, I could pay you, I give you like $200, da-da-da, and I'm just, again, walking, not saying anything. Still went home, didn't tell my mama nothing, didn't tell nobody nothing. Third day, same thing, I saw him. Now, I said, okay, maybe the night before I saw Law and Order, or maybe the night before I watched Unsolved Mysteries, but that day I knew I had to do something when the bus pulled up and I saw his van again. So I was like, okay, motherfucker, it's getting out of hand. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, this is, like, premeditated, you know? So I was like, okay, this day I had saw his face a couple of times. This day I knew what the fuck to do. When he pulled up beside me, I was walking and looking dead at his ass like this. I got his car type, color, and that tag. Now, this time, he followed me for a really long time. He almost followed me until I walked in my house because I was like, oh my God, I don't want him to see where I live at. So I was walking real slow because I was really paying attention to him. I'll never forget, he was on my right-hand side. So I was really paying attention to him. I paid attention to the shirt he had on. I paid attention if he had brown hair, black hair, gray hair, everything. Like, and then when he drove, like, again, he drove past me before I got home. And when he drove past me, I was like, say for instance, his tag number was like ABC. As soon as I saw it, I was like walking, running to my house. I was like, ABC, ABC, ABC. Like I kept saying it in my head because I was like, I can't, we didn't have cell phones back then, so you couldn't take pictures. This is like 2001, so you can't take pictures or video or nothing like that. So I'm like, ABC, ABC, ABC. I went home and straight to my room. I remember my mama saw me running the house and she was like, damn, you got to pee? I went right in my room and took a piece of paper and pen and wrote his tag number down before I forgot it. Then I went in the living room and told my mom, and I'll never forget. So I told my mom what happened. She called the police. So the police came, and I told the police officer, my story and what happened. I remember telling the police officer, it was me, my mom, and the police officer sitting in the living room. And I remember telling the police officer, like, everything that had happened. And I gave him the tag number. I described the guy, described what he had on that day. The color of the van was blue. And I remember telling the police officer, like, yeah, this is his third time doing it. My mama looked at me. She was like, what? What's wrong with you? Why you just not coming to tell me? If you know me and if you know my mama, you watching this, you know my mama is loud. And, well, she was loud and extra. So this is her. She was like, why you just not telling me this? Why is this show? This happened 3 times and you just not coming to tell me this. This man could have kidnapped you. This man could have raped you. Da, da, da. She was going off and I'm sitting there like, the officer had to calm her down, like, calm down. She did what she had to do. She did everything right. Don't worry about it. Your daughter here. We're going to get him. She got the tag number. She did good. Man, I'll never forget this. So, boom. I remember like 2 days later, man, this was like Law & Order. I remember 2 days later, I had got called to the office. And then it was a female detective there. And she was like, hey, your mom is going to meet us downtown. You need to do a lineup. And I was like, I remember saying to her, like, Law & Order. She was like, yeah, he's going to be there. And it's going to be, you're going to look through a window and you're going to see a bunch of guys and you got to pick out what number or whatever. So she took me in a police car and we rode downtown. She checked me out of school and I rode downtown with her. And lo and behold, I had to go stand in front of a window and, there were like 3 or 4 guys standing in the window. And as soon as I remember it was like blinds they had to pull up. And as soon as they pulled them up, I was like, oh, number 3. Like, it didn't take no time. I was like, oh, number 3. And I remember the woman detective that came pick me up from school, she laughed a little bit because she knew I was right. She was like, I know she know what she's saying because she said it immediately. So that happened. Then probably maybe 2 or 3 weeks later, we go to court because of course he pleaded not guilty. So there had to be like, a court date and we have to go to court or whatever. And like, this is like my first time really in court for anything. I probably was in court for maybe a car accident or whatever, but this is like the first time I'm in court for something that has to do with me, so I remember he came in with one of the police officers. He had handcuffs on him. And I'm looking like, yeah, that's him. I looked at him. I was like, my mom was like, that's him, that's him. We were standing in front of the judge. And my mama whispered, she was like, that's him. I'm like, that's him. And he came out and the judge, he was with his lawyer. And the judge asked, what do you plead? He was like, not guilty. Now, mind you, I'm 14. So I can't believe like people lie like this. Like I've seen it on TV and acting. But I'm like, this nigga really lying. So when he said that, I remember doing this. I was like, mommy. She was like, shh, shh, shh. I was so loud because I was like, mommy, like, that's him. So she was like, shh, be quiet, be quiet. So I can't even tell you all the talks and stuff, what happened in court, because I do not remember. I remember my mom, of course, we had an attorney, and the guy had an attorney, and the judge asked me a couple of questions. Now, one question I do remember that I asked when I got on that stand, his lawyer asked me what I had on. And I was like, I remember verbatim what I had on that third day. Because it was one of my little favorite outfits to wear to school, okay? I had on a pink sweater. It was a brand new outfit because it was first semester. So, like, we had brand new clothes for back to school, freshman year. But I had on a pink sweater. And I had on some like some navy blue pants. And I remember my navy blue pants had on little pink accents that matched my sweater. And I had on some white Pumas. I was fresh. So I remember being upset about that, and that bothered me. And that's why I can remember that question more than any other question, because what does it matter that what I had on? Because if I'm going to the swimming pool and I have on a bikini, having on a bikini is damn near half naked. Does that call for me to get harassed and sexually harassed and solicited for sex? No. So I remember that bothered me, because I don't have a sign on me or a sign on my forehead that says, oh, you're welcome to rape me, you're welcome to harass me because of what I have on. But anyway, so that was the end of that situation. I think he did spend a couple of months in jail for that. But my mama, let me tell you something. This lady, Janice Susie Thompson, did not play when it came about her kids. Okay, like, if you watching this and you know my mama, you know she crazy. She was crazy, okay? So my mama, she liked to dig a little deeper. She was petty. And I think that's where I get my pettiness from. But my mama was petty. This lady was cool. She became cool with the police officer and the detectives over my case. She ended up getting his address, getting his phone number to his house. She called that house, baby. She talked to that wife. Now, if you from Atlanta and you watching this man was driving. Now, mind you, I used to stay on Bolton Road, okay? This man lived in Duluth. Now, y'all know how, if you know Atlanta, you know how far Duluth is from Atlanta, okay? It's like an hour and 30 minutes. He was driving from Duluth to Atlanta to pick up prostitutes. My mama told his wife everything. She didn't know what was going on. He had 2 daughters that was in college, married for like, I think 20, 25 years or something like that. Like, they was on the phone for hours with all this. Like, my mama was telling her everything, and she was like, oh my God, I didn't know nothing was going on. I thought he was in jail for a suspended license. My mama was like, girl, you crazy? And you don't know what the hell going on with your man. But that was the end of that story. So it wasn't a big story, but it was something that did happen to me. And I know y'all like these crazy stories I be telling y'all. But thank you for watching. Please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and you know, all that good stuff. Bye, y'all.